What do you offer a rich man that already has everything? Or a very, very well off person? Man, woman, let's say Christmas time, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. What do you offer them? The guy that's already got the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Mercedes, the McLarens, and all that in his driveway and in his garage. What do you give him for his birthday? You pull up on him, right? You give him an Escalade, for example, like happy birthday, and look at his face. Oh, thank you so much. You're gonna show appreciation in his mind. You know what he's thinking? What am I gonna put this? What am I gonna do with this? I don't even drive the Ferrari. you know, it's not easy to buy gifts for well-off people that already got everything that they want. You know what you can give them as a gift? A freak off. You can give them a freak off. You see the thumbnail, the Diddy with the Christmas hat. Did that come out of court yesterday? Offering freak offs for Christmas. We saw the report, what was it, last week? Allegedly, Daphne offered Diddy a freak off if he left his Miami vacation with young Miami early and came back home to her. She was just mad, allegedly, like, oh, you over there with the next chick or whatever. If you leave and you come back to me, I'll give you a freak off. And allegedly, that was a Valentine's Day gift. So we got Valentine's Days coming up. We got Christmases coming up. You know, I would have wanted the freak offs to stay something that was remaining about sex trafficking, forced work, forced labor. You kind of don't want to see as much pleasure and holidays and all that type of stuff mixed in, right? We'll get there. We'll get there. Good morning, everybody. You see the thumbnail? We're going to come up to speed from yesterday's court updates. We're going to run through that. Then I'm going to get into a small topic of how do we feel so far? You know, week one was very impactful. Week two still felt that newness vibe. Are y'all getting tired at this point of the Diddy trial? There's certain areas that I'm damn sure getting tired of, but we're going to ride it all the way to the end. It's all good. And I think enough of this trial has happened, enough of the key and star witnesses, enough of the narratives have been developed that we can now start to ask the question, is he winning or is he losing? So we're going to do some of that today. After that, what should I get into second? Should I get into R. Kelly or should I get into, you see, Hitman Holla is in the thumbnail. The Hitman Holla topic is going to be related to blocked battles. I'm going to do a block battles topic with y'all, okay? And I do have a funny video as well at the end to bring up. Speaking of giving men, grown ass men, gifts, you guys may not know what I'm talking about yet, but hang around. We'll get there. All right. Let's get into the Diddy trial updates, and then we'll start to ask those questions. Where we at? Winning, losing, in the middle still? Is he fried? Is he cooked? Is the prosecution and the government getting their ass kicked? We'll see. We'll see. All right, yesterday. Let's do a reminder of the charges real quick, since we're getting into the weeds of the where do we stand. Racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Has any of those been proven? Those 3 factors: force, fraud, or coercion. Depending who you ask, some people's going to say yes about force. Some people's going to say no about force. Okay. 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. A lot of you niggas is, listen, might be guilty of this the way that they're using it in the Diddy trial. The rapper was initially charged with 3 offenses: racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. 2 extra counts, 1 each of sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution, were added earlier in April. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. All right. What do the charges mean? Racketeering broadly means engaging in an illegal scheme or enterprise, and charge falls under the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, aka that joint that they created for John Gotti. Right? I don't gotta get you red-handed. I could just prove out some of the associations, maybe a little tax evasion sprinkle there, whatever. Boom, got you. And Big U is gonna have a tough time as well. Isn't he still representing himself? We'll get there when we get there. But racketeering, man, this whole criminal enterprise underneath was Bad Boy Records and all these different associated groups and all these people that worked and were employed by Mr. Combs, right? Is this showing you a RICO? I know we're so used to hearing the word RICO and thinking mafia, right? Nobody ever thought that you could get hit with a RICO for being a freak. I know I'm being a little bit sarcastic. Y'all might think I'm leaning, but there are some things here where we're gonna get into later on. What I'm gonna say, yo, Diddy, they might got you on this. All right, so bear tight. All right, but let's go in through at least yesterday. I know normally when we go through these breakdowns right here from this site, we spend a lot of time. I'm gonna breeze a little bit more. I'm gonna stay a little bit more high level to try to spare y'all some of that. Juror six dismissed over concerns about candor. So we heard a lot of controversy about will a juror be dismissed from Diddy's side. They were stating claims that we feel like you're getting rid of one of the black jurors, man, to kind of tilt the scale a little bit. I mean, sometimes you just got to be boldly honest about today's society, right? A jury of your peers, right? If you're a black man and it's a whole white jury, right? That doesn't seem as fair. And it's not just everything isn't extreme to racism, people. Okay. It's not just that all the time. Sometimes it's also about being culturally understood. No different than thinking you want people that grew up in the neighborhood to police the neighborhood, right? If you don't understand the nature of how we talk, how we walk, how we act, how we dress, our aggressive nature at times, you might be pulling your gun in a split second. You know what I'm saying? Or and all I said was, "You good?" Like, right? It's similar in court. You want a jury of your peers, but you also want to be culturally understood and identified. If they start reading rap lyrics in court, somebody that might not be as affluent in rap lyrics might hear some of this shit and be like, "Oh my God, he's a killer." I mean, I'm sorry, but that song "Can't Stop, Won't Stop" by Diddy, where he says "hit you with the Glock" and all that, he didn't really mean it. But you have to be culturally understanding. You see what I'm saying? So that's where Diddy was having the issue of hold on, don't get rid of all the black folks. But it looks like that was a big issue and it remains so. Before today's testimony begins, we have an update on some legal discussion about Juror 6. It emerged the juror allegedly gave conflicting answers about where he lives in either New York or across the Hudson River in New Jersey during the jury selection process before the trial began. On Friday, Judge Arun said he would take the weekend and make his final decision about whether or not to dismiss the juror. Today, in court just now, he told the legal teams Juror 6 will be excused to be replaced by the first alternate juror, saying he had concerns about his candor and whether he shaded answers to get on and stay on the panel. So there's a lot of people that went and interviewed and wanted to be. I duck jury duty, right? Should I have said that on camera? Damn, that's incriminating. That might be one of the first biggest incriminating things I've ever said on camera, but I was joking. So I tried to take it back. Most people, okay. Now I'm snitching. I'm moving on to snitching now. Yeah, most people. No, it's not snitching until I put a name on it, right? Let me pull somebody on the chat. Let me snitch on somebody on the chat. The first member I see. Aaron Harris, one of our members, what's good, homie? He tries to duck jury duty. Everybody could tell by his first and last name. That nigga ducks jury duty. Aaron Harris, he's not doing no fucking jury duty. That nigga ducks jury duty, B. Catch that nigga up. All right. Now, so I did three things. First, I self-incriminated. Then I started snitching. And then I did deflection. Okay. The three things I just did. So people want to be on this fucking trial. They want to be in there. They want to see the evidence. They want to hear this big mega trial go down. This is Diddy, a household name, billionaire, and all that type of stuff. We get it. And something as what you think small, where you stay, New York or Jersey? You know, lying could mean that you have background motivations, okay, to really be here instead of just being selected through the normal process. Get up here and give a fully neutral, unbiased decision, right? When we get all the way back to deliberation and the jury makes their verdict. That's what you need. And anybody that lies has motives. And I don't need to spend time, you know, or the whole trial figuring out why you lied. The judge spent the weekend and said, nah, we good on you, you know, and they pulled from an alternate and said, all right, goodbye, have a nice day. All right, it is what it is. So we're done with that controversy. All right, paralegal specialists called to the stand. Y'all brought a paralegal up there. Okay, the jurors are in court as Sean Diddy Combs, who was wearing a white outfit today. All right, this paralegal specialist at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District. So they're on the prosecution side. She says she has worked in the job for a little over 2 years and has had no role in the case against Combs. Okay. Testifying as a summary witness to help explain some of the complex evidence heard in the trial so far and how it relates to the charges. All right. Second jury issue. Another one? I didn't see this yet yesterday. All right. We have another jury update before we get into testimony from the paralegal specialist, Ayana. And there could be an issue with a separate juror over conversations he might have had with a colleague. Oh, so you're talking about the case. The juror was questioned by the judge on Friday, and handed his phone over. The judge will ask more questions after the testimony from the witness finishes today. I mean, they expect you not even to go home and talk to your wife about your day in court. It's supposed to be super, super duper hush. Don't want any of the people that are testifying under pseudonyms to get out. You don't want pictures ain't supposed to get out. It's supposed to be a lockdown situation, and you're supposed to not be exposing yourself to bias. I'm not supposed to come out, jump into a chat room and say, guys, I just left today and I heard this. What do y'all think? You're supposed to be a little bit isolated, right? Even though you're leaving court and then going out into the world, and you're connecting to your phone and you're reading some of the updates and you're seeing some of the public feedback. You can't ignore stuff like that. But even still, if you're caught in the midst of any of that, yeah, the court, the judge, people's going to take issue with it. How long is he going to stay awake? Text between Diddy and staff read in court. We don't need it. Chicken soup and 4,000 hotel room request shown in text. I don't need it. What do you want? What do you want to show me there? What is that testimony about? Recovery. I don't know about y'all. I'm not really a soup guy. You catch me eating or drinking soup if I have a cold, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's what that testimony was. We just finished a freak off. I don't need to hear about soup if you've already had given me 10 times worse extremes. You've already told me about sobriety parties. You've already gave me testimony about IVs and massages and full recoup sessions, and just draining out your bodies after these long weekend freak offs and whatnot. So I don't give a fuck about no soup and a $4,000 hotel room tab. All right. And this is what I think we did this one. Was it early last week? I brought up a video for y'all of an expert lawyer who was looking into the case, and he was talking about, it's not that the trial still expects a big bang theory of some new witness that's going to come, like, oh my God, Usher. You start strong, you remain strong, and you close strong as a prosecution. So it was saying, what he was alluding to is, we've probably seen the biggest fireworks already. They're not just hiding some, like, okay, watch this, Jordan is coming off the bench, in the last week. It doesn't work that way, at least from the expert opinion. So I say that to say, he also got into the psychology of being a lawyer, being a juror, and how the process goes as far as making people numb to certain things, right? If you keep making them feel like the appetizers are leading up to the main course and the main course never comes, because the way that the prosecution has presented a lot in some of these witnesses and some of this testimony, we thought we was getting this as an appetizer, like, ooh, okay, you about to prove that after I heard that from that particular witness. And then it leads up, and it didn't really land all the way. And we're still waiting for that. And it creates people like me right now. And I'm multiplied by the millions that's following this case, which is like, I can see something like, okay, a hotel bill and soup, and I'm numb. I already heard all this other stuff. I skip it. I don't. And what does that make somebody? Imagine a juror that feels like this. Like, if you don't give me anything else big that makes me feel okay, John Gotti, Rico time, they got you. Then by the time I get to the second half of the trial, and I've already gotten through the appetizers, thinking that them shits were supposed to be main courses, I'm still hungry when it's time to deliberate. You get it? I don't feel full yet. So skip that shit. This is what happens. Text show Diddy asking staff to bring him 15 pills of Molly. We already know about all the drugs. All the people have that have even involved in the freak offs, whether they testified under immunity or whether they were just there, like, just spilling their guts, being honest, and spilling allegedly their own truth. We've heard about it all. The ecstasy, the pink powder, the mollies, the this and that, and the astroglide. We know the stuff that are being added to the parties and the freak offs already. So we're in what, day 20 something, and you're still bringing people up there to give testimony, say, look at this text message about Diddy asking for pills. We know them niggas was all getting high together. We know Cassie and Daphne and Diddy. We know. We know. All right. Some said they did it to last through the freak off. Some said they did it to escape mentally and emotionally the freak off. Some people you gotta assume is doing it because it adds to the fun. How many people in this chat right now have had drunk sex? I never been high. Well, other than that brownie in Amsterdam. I told y'all that. I told y'all a piece of that story. Other than that, I've never done a drug. I've never smoked weed once in my life. A lot of people think I'm weird for that. Never even tried weed, let alone a hard hell no. Like I'm scared of that shit. Right. But shit, I had a drink last night while I was watching the game. I poured me up a little glass of wine. I was like, you know what? Game 5, man, let me enjoy this. Since I'm gonna be up late, pour me up a little drink, right? I, like millions of people in the world and possibly a lot of people in the chat, I've had drunk sex, right? I've never, if I knew I was drinking and I was entertaining the company of a woman, I was never drinking to escape it. Like that would be like a guy that's in a situation like, damn, I'm taking one for the team or some shit. Or if it's tax season or some shit, it's like, let me fucking, like some of them claim that they were actually doing in the free calls. I've never been in that situation, right? If I was entertaining or somebody was entertaining me, we both wanted to be there, right? And so you could say, like, if you put me on the stage, you asked me, so did you purposefully have drunk sex? Yeah, nigga. Yeah. And sometimes, not all the time, because you can get too fucking drunk. Sometimes it adds. I've had sober sex, drunk sex, slightly intoxicated sex, spilling all over this all over the place sex. You walk through the door, you all over, fumble over the plate, like the fuck, like yeah, you know what I'm saying, but never because once again I didn't want the liquor involved in the equation. You know, like I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Liquor don't ruin sex to me. It can. It can. I didn't see people drink too much and it can, but shit, you go into the gas station, they sell fucking tonight packs. You know, it's like a 7-Eleven or your local stores. They got the fucking it's got the honey pack in it, it's got the little snip of henny in it, it's got a little joint of Red Bull in it, right? You can go to a little gas station and buy the whole kit for like $15 or some shit, right? Niggas is buying those why? Because they want to ruin their night? Like, no. Oh my God. All right. No one deserves to be dragged by their hair. Cassie told Diddy's chief of staff in text message. You want to know why I'm skipping that, people? Because what the fuck is that supposed to prove for me at this point in the trial? I'm not negating that Diddy's a piece of shit for anybody he's put his hands on like that. No. But what is this in at yesterday's trial? Yesterday, what is this doing for me? Now you're trying to prove that Cassie didn't consent to getting dragged. We know that. We fucking know that already. Like, these are the people, this is the shit, the text messages you're bringing in as evidence now. Cassie told chief of staff, no one deserves to be dragged by their hair. Skip. This is word for word. Janet told Diddy in recorded messages after Cassie lawsuit. All right, I'm gonna glance this just to see if she said anything crazy, like yeah, I'm finna get this bread, like ASAP Relly, right? Like all I know is next month I'm gonna be up on the beach with my feet up. Like really, nigga. So for that reason, let me skim this one. We are moving forward, November 23 now. When court hears alleged Jane sent a message to Christina Coram saying, I am not doing any more hard partying, no more hotel nights. So I hope he's not expecting because I just can't. Oh my God. No means no. But anyway, all right, during the testimony, both Cassie Ventura and Jane told the court they were coerced into having sex sessions with male escorts, which would sometimes last for several days during the relationships with Cohen. I wonder if Cassie's at home with her husband convincing him, or if he's convinced himself that this 10, 11 years while you was with Diddy, all that shit y'all was doing, you were coerced. I wonder, would he be a naive fucking idiot to believe that? I would say so. We've always seen a lot of consent Even and as nasty as this situation was, when they brought into trial the dude that got paid off for the hotel footage, and Cassie did a FaceTime video with all of them and told dude, he testified this, right? Like, yo, I got this movie coming up. Like, I don't want this to get out. But she's I know it's the effect of Diddy, and Diddy has his claws in, and he's molded this woman from being young. I don't see that the same with Daphne because Daphne is older, right? But anyway, I get it. Young and impressionable, but you are fully entrenched in the lifestyle. You are even out here threatening people, talking about, give me that footage or else somebody gonna kill you and all that. This is Cassie. This is Cassie. You can't be at home with this woman and think that, damn, all your life, everything you've done, whether sexually, illegally, wildly, in that lifestyle, was because it wasn't you. It was all forced. It was all coercion. There was zero consent. Once again, I got some sand to say at the beach if you want to believe that. I got some air for you. I got some water I got all that. If you want to believe that, B, you could make me a rich man. Send all them people my way. You could make me a very, very rich man. Very, very rich. I can convince them to buy some shit that we all have access to for free. I'm telling you. The hip hop mogul referred to these sessions as freak offs or cat. Oh my God. Once again, this is killing me. It's the numbness and the redundancy in this trial at this point. In December 2023, the court hears Jane said in a message to Quorum, he said he would expose me and send videos to my baby daddy, and traumatize my time with him. Now, I'm going to start coming off more and more, and I don't mean it as if I'm defending Diddy. You guys know I can't stand Diddy. You guys know that. He's going to send these freak off tapes to my baby daddy. All right. Now, that's Jane. That might be Daphne, right? Allegedly. Right. 50 cents PM, right? If you feel like you're forced to do something that you don't want to do because videos would be put out on you, yeah, that's not cool to do to somebody, right? That's not cool. If somebody hit me up right now, it's like, I got this video of you, ARP, and if you don't do your podcast promoting this album for the next 6 months straight, yeah, I mean, I might call a lawyer for that. You know what I'm saying? That's extortion. And so that's not cool. That's not cool to do to people. But there is that element of self accountability. And if you're doing things out in the world that you feel you would never want your mother, your father, your child, your baby father, 50 Cent, to find out, then you might want to tailor that to your actions, right? It's like the mother. Or look at some of these women and some of these celebrity women on the internet, the things that they're doing, right? I'm pretty sure if you ask them about their children or their children being exposed to things, they would black the fuck out and go crazy. They would scream on you, they would curse you out and all this type of shit. But I'll just use Cardi B, and Cardi B is cool to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a super Cardi B fan, but she's cool. I ain't got no issue with Cardi. Let's say Cardi would trip out on somebody like, oh, you could let my son or my daughter see that, boom, boom, boom. All I gotta do is thumb my Instagram, and I could see like you performing prostitution like ways for your new guy, right? That video of her bent over popping ass for dude, and she's singing the lyrics, pay me money and all that. And we know where Cardi B comes from, right? We know that she used to be a stripper, right? We know what she used to do for a living, right? I don't even think it's easy to trust a woman like that, because a woman like that is into turning tricks. She's into replacing feelings for showing something that will get you to come off the bread. Smiles, loves, hugs. Anybody ever been to a strip club before? All of them are going to make you feel like they love you and it's very personal and they're with you and they cater to you and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the bread. If you walk out the section, the next guy is going to get the same eye to eye contact. I love you. You're the best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 365. All right. So if you don't want that type of shit on your name or on your reputation or in your kids' accessibility, then you got to change your lifestyle. You just can't do these things. If you don't want little Ricky to find out one day that you was in freak offs, how about just not doing freak offs? Nobody wants to set these limits for themselves. They want all the all right, this is fun. They want all of that in the moment. But the repercussions when they come around, whether it's your family, whether it's you being exposed, whether it's career impactful, now you take issue with it. Now you take issue with it. But I'm sure Cassie, for example, knew hundreds of times that she was being recorded, that she was being recorded. Might have even at times performed for the camera. You know what I'm saying? You got to have in the back of your mind. Yo, I was talking to my homeboy the other day. I can't say his name just in case. Just in case his wife happens to watch this. You know, he told me this example of I can't even say the profession because somebody might figure it out. He might get in trouble. Let's say it's like the Martin and Gina thing when they were sharing money and they put the money in the cookie jar. Remember that episode? And they was still tucking from each other on the side. You know, they act like they was putting all their money in the cookie jar, but Martin and Gina had a little extra bread on the side of her purse. Martin took a couple dollars in his pocket, like, oh, this is just for me. Like, I'm not sure, or 1000%. Nobody trusts their relationship to the point where if they're being recorded in that type of lifestyle by these type of people, if you're already telling others in the midst of this, right? So you're proving my point. You obviously don't trust people for the latter. So at what point do you say, maybe it's smart to not record myself? Maybe it's smart to not do these freak offs. Maybe it's smart to not put myself in that fucking hotel. Instead, we're getting testimony from yesterday of offering freak offs as a fucking Christmas gift. You see the contradictions in these fucking people. And this is the shit that's killing me. It's killing me. Let me know if I'm missing something. The court also hears about audio files of a conversation between the rapper and Jane from 17th of November 2023. This was just after Cassie filed her lawsuit against Combs, which was settled within 24 hours for then undisclosed summary, which was now revealed as $20 million during this trial. Yeah. After reading about the lawsuit, Jane told Combs, I don't know what I'm feeling. This is so word for word. It is crazy. And it just feels sick to my stomach. In December 2023, the court hears Jane said in a message to Quran, he said he would expose me and send the videos to my baby daddy. Yeah. So I do believe, in all fairness, all right, court is in break right now. And then we're going to go to this timeline, whatever's going through this. I do believe I can't put it past Diddy to use some of these videos and text and all that type of stuff against these people because he knows he's breaking laws, even if we're only talking about drugs. So it's not just the laws, also, it's also your image, your stature. He didn't even want to let people see behind the curtain and fully confirm if he's bisexual, let alone a freak like this, right? We're hearing testimony that you're letting people rub other men's nut on your nipples and shit. So that's that. I don't know what else to call that other than bisexual. You know what I mean? I don't care if, but there's no intercourse or he didn't touch the other man. If you want to give him a pass for that, you a different type of nigga. You a different type of thinker. Me and you is just different. You do you, I'ma do me. To me, I feel if you purposefully want another nigga nut on you, use bisexual or gay, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But he didn't want us to see that stuff. He's a whole mogul and a brand out here. I understand. There's a lot of these celebrities. If we had the opportunity to peer into their personal life, we see a lot of shit that make us hear they fucking music with a different ear. So I get it. I get it. But Jesus Christ, these fucking these videos and these text messages that these women is on, do you really think that it was just about you? He's protecting her. He knows he's got y'all in cahoots with him. in cahoots with him. No means no. All right. Text sent to Diddy after Cassie's bombshell lawsuit heard in court. Let's go to the timeline. Diddy, a timeline of allegations. Okay, November 23rd, Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie files a lawsuit alleging sexual abuse, trafficking, and violence over the course of 10 years. She in the lawsuit put trafficking? Trafficking. Subtopic there. Sexual abuse, I understand. Violence, I understand. But if I've never heard somebody bring a civil suit to somebody to say you trafficked me. I mean, that could happen, right? I just never knew that Cassie did that. I didn't read her whole civil lawsuit. I just got all the bullet highlights of it. Trafficking? Was she working at that point? Trafficking. You trafficked me. When we flew to the Bahamas, you trafficked me. When that escort met us over in New York, you trafficked me. It just feels like I mean, I keep saying Cassie there. Let me also be open-minded. Could be the fucking lawyer. The lawyer says, you want to really make sure that he pays up this $20 million? We're also going to say that he trafficked you, because then he's exposed to sex trafficking crimes, and he's going to want to make sure he doesn't have to go to court for that. All right. I'll level that. But two other women filed lawsuits accusing the rapper of sexual abuse shortly afterwards. Of course, floodgates are open. March 2024, Combs' properties are searched and a criminal investigation. So that's the raid. Okay. That's when they said 1,000 bottles of baby oil. May 2024, footage showing Combs attacking Cassie comes out. That's when the hotel shit dropped. Okay. September 2024, Combs is arrested. Okay. That's when he was walking around in New York for like, what, a week or two. He knew that they was coming. He was making himself accessible. He's making it easy. He was trying to be somewhat compliant. And we believe that that was an attempt to make the judge feel more lenient about getting bond. And then we saw from the government side and the prosecution side come out and say, don't nobody get no extra leniency for doing what they're supposed to do legally. Right. So I was just like, ooh, you thought you was walking around New York like, yeah, get me when you're ready. I'm helping y'all. You don't have to come. I'm not going to do the race. You don't got to come find me in another state. You don't got to send the task force. I'm going to be right here for you when you're ready. And they're like, and you didn't help us. We was gonna grab your stupid ass regardless. Didn't matter. Yeah, they did him in on that one. He thought he was about to get fucking bail for that. October, more separate civil suits. Yeah, floodgates. January 2025. And again in March, the initial criminal indictment against Combs and amended to include new allegations. We read that. April, the indictment is amended for a third time. Reread that. May, after a week of jury selection, the trial gets underway, starting with opening statements. We know that. We covered it. June 2025, that's today. We're here now. The court hears from Jane. Yo, how many times I need to say on stream, people? If you remove the hotel footage tape, which Diddy tried to keep out of the court, they failed, and it came in and they played that bitch again. If you remove the tape from this case, Jane to me is more damaging than Cassie as far as her. I don't know about their experiences, because Diddy was with Cassie much longer than he was with Jane. I think they say Jane's relationship. I keep calling it Jane. Make sure everybody understands if you're coming into this case recently. Allegedly, that's 50 Cent's baby mother, Daphne Joy. Allegedly, okay. But Jane, allegedly they were together for like 3 years, right? Cassie 10 through 11 years, okay. So I believe behind closed doors, Diddy and Cassie did seem way more shit happened. That was his main. I think Daphne was just, that was another girl that came along. You're very attracted to. She has a look that kind of fits his bill. She was willing to do the things that you're willing to do, the freak offs and all this type of shit. And on top of that, extra bonus is 50 Cent's BM, your fucking arch nemesis, right? So I could see why, all the reasons why Diddy was there, right? But that's like a 3-year joint. Doesn't matter. I still think from a testimony standpoint, Daphne's shit has been more damaging than Cassie if you take the tape off the table. Look at this. They even want to reference her only in the fucking timeline. All right. Diddy attempted to contact Mia and called 6 times in a day in months after Cassie lawsuit. We know what that was. We've seen some of that coming out in trial already. The people that was saying, I ignored his call. He texted me. I didn't text back. He's reaching out to a lot of people, getting his ducks in a row. He knew it was on the way, and if he didn't, his lawyers damn sure told him, you might be exposed to this, you might be exposed to that, that might be happening. I'm hearing rumbles of this, I'm hearing rumors of that, right? Got all these civil lawsuits. Don't know if any of them are going to roll into the feds picking this shit up, which they eventually did. You don't know if anybody's already working with the feds, which they actually was, right? So he knew it was coming, and he's contacting people. Hey, what's up, my best friend? Everything been good? How you been, man? You know, on the low, no bullshit. All jokes aside, some of us could think that that's why it came out a week and a half ago that he was still paying Jane's bills and paid for her fucking lawyer a $10,000 a month rent because he expected to be purchasing allegedly some loyalty or at least some type of testimony that ain't you getting up there crying for 6 days straight saying that I abused you. Bitch, I'm paying your fucking rent right now. Like, oh my God, I can't. During this lunch break, somebody text my manager and tell him stop fucking sending that rent. I can't. I'm paying this right now. The lawyer that's sitting in the fucking courtroom right now, guiding her, I'm paying for that nigga. The fuck? He's getting his ducks in a row with everybody that he knows some shit that could hurt him when this trial starts, and that the government might even reach out to for with subpoenas, a testimony. Which one of the is it witness 3 or whatever that went missing? Can't find them. Allegedly, don't that feel a little bit similar to what happened with the parents and the child in the R. Kelly trial? They went overseas during R. Kelly's trial, allegedly with a bag of money. Couldn't find them. They was out of pocket. Is out of pocket. If that's true, disgusting ass parents, I would have wanted to see this nigga under the earth if I couldn't do it myself, if that was my daughter in that video. But you allegedly took your bag, you got out of the country, and you let him beat his trial. You know, allegedly. But some people may have gotten low. Other people took his money and still are here in court. Look at dude that got paid off for the video footage. So who dropped the video footage if Diddy's walking around with the only copy of it? Got fucked over by a lot of people. Not saying he didn't deserve to, but Diddy's team worried about reports of police being called to Cassie breakup confrontation. Why? Isn't that supposed? I mean, duh. Let me check this out. The court is now hearing about text messages from August 18th, which shows Sean Diddy Combs' team appeared worried about impending reports of him and Cassie Ventura's breakup in a confrontation that involved police. The former couple were together on and off from 2007 to 2018. Jurors have heard previously, and Cassie accused Combs, whatever. The Combs team was particularly concerned about how U.S. entertainment site TMZ, would report on the incident. The text messages show, but Combs, then chief of staff Christina, was ultimately relieved by what was published. Well, TMZ is one of the biggest media celebrity outlets, so you care about what they're putting out, what narratives, what their position is, what type of evidence, all this type of stuff. Yeah, you care. Absolutely. All right. If you can't be honest with me, this doesn't work, Diddy's former chief of staff said in text. Okay. We know he had a lot of issues with some of his assistants. Some of them claimed forced labor. Some of them got up there with fucking immunity. We know. Special agent called to the stand. Testimony from Ayana, a paralegal specialist. Okay. We saw about that in the opening. The next witness is a U.S. Attorney Office special agent. She tells jurors she investigates federal crimes, but did not work directly on this case. Okay. Court breaks for lunch. Cool. Court shown evidence of flights for Cassie and escort and payments by Diddy. Okay, let's see. I mean, this is once again saying that he led the way on this sex trafficking. We understand why they would do this, but I want to see if there's anything in there. Emily Johnson is now asking questions for the prosecution as testimony from special agent continues. She is asked to confirm separate flight itineraries for Cassie and a male sex worker between Los Angeles and New York in December 2009, as well as American Express statements showing they were paid for by Sean Diddy Combs' account. The credit card statements also shows payment for the London hotel in New York. How did they get that? Was that in the discovery process, was that turned over from the defense? Was that the Fed dropping a subpoena on the credit card company? But these are transactions from 2009, huh? Showing that he paid for it. I mean, I'm gonna get to this stuff that I'm gonna be like, yeah, they got you, or they don't got you in a second, but we see what they're doing there, right? Okay. Hotel night cost $795.63. Record show. Yep. More records, more black and white stuff. Money spent, transactions, credit card swipes, video evidence played for jury only. I heard that this was free call footage, people. Videos entered into evidence under seal are now being played by the prosecution. This means the jury and the lawyers can see and hear what is happening, but members in the public in court cannot. They probably got headphones on at that point. Okay, jury is dismissed for the day. And here's the bullet points. Here's the bullet points. Who thinks I could skim bullet points? Bullet points are supposed to be the skim within itself, right? Let me see. At the same time, emerged juror black. Yep, the juror that was dismissed, the judge said had concerns over Yep, he rejected arguments from defense that this disrupted diversity. Yeah, that's also the mistrial stuff that got yanked. That ain't happening right now. Judge is saying after this prosecution called 2 summary witnesses, we got it. During testimony from paralegal, we got it. These include messages from we got it. Another text about $4,000 in cash. Blah, 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 blah. We got it. 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 Okay. Let's move to the question between ourselves now. Enough of the trial has happened. Once again, experts will tell you that the prosecution in a federal, especially a RICO indictment, it's not about some fourth quarter fireworks. It's about starting strong, remaining strong, and closing strong, which if that's the case, if that's the common trajectory of how these type of cases are prosecuted, especially in this district, that would mean that we've already seen the most fireworks. And even as you see today, I've expressed times where I felt I'm getting numb and there's a lot of redundancy. Okay. A lot of redundancy, a lot of things that I feel like I've heard week 1, week 2, week 3 already. Okay. So we're at a point now we can start. I'm not saying we can jump out the window, but we could start to give a little bit more of an intelligent opinion of how's this going. All right. We really can. What do I still have issues with? I'll go there first. I take big issues with the continued amount of consent. Once again, the defense's big word, big narrative, biggest play, their joker card in this whole trial. Consent, 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 consent. I'm seeing a ton of consent. I'm seeing a lot of women that benefited in a lot of ways, whether it was the record deals, the movies, the opportunities, the swinging with the stars, the rent being paid, the expensive trips, the dinners and the birthdays that get paid for, the expensive dinners, the jewelry, the cars. Here's money for your family, Cassie's parents. The list is enormous of all the benefits. And I remain, it's just me as personal now. I'm not saying that this is what will happen legally. I'm separating the two right now. Personally, I'm just the type of guy, I struggle with trying to give somebody a victim label if I watch you take the good with the bad. You know, I'm not justifying shit, but if I watch you take the good with the bad, my personality, I'm just like, yo, that when it's up, it's up, and when it's down, it's down. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in this world right now getting pissed and shitted on. Go ahead and fly to Dubai and figure it out. Pissed and shitted on for some money, willingly, consensually. So you're not going to make me believe that the Daphnes allegedly and the Cassies and all these people of the world were just 100% forced, or this was 100% coercion, or it was R all the time. No, you got records showing that, yo, you fucking coerced, let me use it against you, this man off of a vacation with another chick by dangling a freak off. Or this situation over here, you said, hey, for Christmas, I got a gift for you. Guess what? Freak off time. I can't do it. The RICO stuff now, And I think the biggest thing under RICO that the prosecution is showing the jury, come on now, pay attention. This is on the table, is the sex trafficking. Remove the legal side for a second. Let's get back to me personally. I feel like so much of this is with consent and within the realm of what people want to do sexually that I automatically interpret and say, there's a million people doing this. There's a million women flying men out, and there's a million men flying women out. And it's like all of these people are breaking state laws because they may have got a bag dropped on them. Now, paying for sex is still illegal almost everywhere, right? I think there's a couple places maybe they turn a blind eye to it. There's definitely countries where it's legal, right? But here in the States, I don't know if there's any states that where prostitution is legal. Like I said, it's a blind eye in certain places, but I'm not going to pull it up. Point being, I feel like a lot of these people that are involved in these situations accepting that money, right? Especially if, like, let's say you're an exotic dancer, you're already a male stripper. This is what you do for a profession. You show up to the Trump Hotel, and now you're getting paid to do a sexy scene, which then turns into sex and intercourse and all that type of stuff. Do I have an issue with that? Do I look at the guy like the Punisher and Cassie and Diddy and say, "Damn, you deserve to be in jail from a legal standpoint"? Because you caught in that particular case, it was in New York and dude was from New York. But let's just say hypothetically he was flown in. Do I look at that and say, "Yo, man, at the end of the day, you cross state lines with a key of coke"? Nah, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Legally, remove me, my personal opinion now. Legally, I see it. I do. I do. The prosecution honed in on sex trafficking so much during this case because it's the most evidence that they have. Okay. His girlfriends, the sex workers, the hotels, the flights, the credit card transactions. This is what they have the most evidence of. Like the arson and everything. Some of us believe that, yeah, you torched Kid Cudi shit, whether you did it with your own hands or not. You didn't prove it though, legally. Legally, you didn't prove it. You did not prove it. So the sex trafficking has the most evidence and testimony on the table surrounding it. And you can't just ignore it all. As a juror, you can't say, because I feel this way personally, or because I believe that this particular person wasn't coerced, this particular person might be lying. That person right there, the defense killed her while she was on the stand. You still gotta, as a juror, look at the facts and say, if you're telling me the law, black and white, is I cannot take this male escort guy from Miami, fly him, pay for his flight to California, pick him up at the airport, bring him to the hotel, have him engage in a freak off, and then pay him for his services. If that's black and white law defined as prostitution and sex trafficking, the prosecution has proved some of that. They have. They have. Dare I say, like, because the redundancy and the numbness of what's maybe the second half of this trial, we may just get the biggest impact of how the jury feels from the closing statements. It might be. It might be. And you could already predict that closing statements are going to get up there and try to prove and paint a picture to the jury that they're targeting this man for whatever reasons, maybe because he's black, maybe because he's a mogul, maybe because of this, maybe because of that. But all they tried to do was let us into his personal sexual life. And if you guys have a problem with this over here, like the assault, and he slapped this person, he hit that person in the back of the head with a hanger, allegedly, take him down to state. Take him down to state. So they have proved a bunch. There's just too much evidence and testimony that when you get to that particular charge, guilty verdict will possibly come down from jurors that would just do black and white. I think the reasonable doubt stuff comes in for maybe some of the assistants a little bit more than the sex trafficking. And that's the forced labor stuff. Okay, so when you want to talk to me about forced labor, when you talk to me about arson, I think the government is going to put all these different pieces on the table and see what sticks, what lands, what the jurors feel was proven out the most. Those other ones, if I'm on the jury, I'm coming back out not guilty. As much as I'll be like, yo, Diddy's a piece of shit. But if I'm doing the job that I'm supposed to do legally, not guilty. The sex trafficking one is hard to let myself say not guilty when if I'm doing the job correctly, you put too much evidence on the table that would then apply to the black and white law. Even if some of us personally feel like, come on, man, really? Sex trafficking for that? Niggas do that shit every day, B. That's really consent. That's really that Birkin bag or that $10,000 or that pair of heels. That could also be interpreted as a like, hey, I appreciate you as a little gift. It could be gifting. Why can't it be gifting? Why is everything payment for service? Why can't it just be a gift? Prosecution could have a fight against that. Well, here it is right here. He wrote it off on his taxes. Oh shit. Prosecution could use that as a haymaker. Don't tell me it's a gift. It's right here. He claimed it as a write-off underneath the enterprise. But once again, speaking of things like the enterprise, I'll close here. Rico and then sex trafficking stuff. Think about like the NDA that nigga signed, right? It's the company name, so it seems shallow as shit and common to what a lot of people doing, but to the letter of the law, the sex trafficking one is a big uphill battle for him right now. Okay. All right. So let me know how y'all feel in the chat. And if you're not here live, let me know how you feel down below in the comments. That's where I stand on the Diddy trial thus far. Okay. Answering the question, is Diddy winning or losing his trial so far? All right. R. Kelly or blocked battles? I'll do the blocked battles. Y'all see Holla in the thumbnail. All right, let's go to that. Blocked battles and Twerk and Av and TBL and URL and Beasley and Smack interview when Av and Holla in the spaces and Hitman did an interview with Trap yesterday, I believe. He's also done a bunch with Polo. Bloggers are weighing in. I see Piper Boy. I see Vodafly. I see Chris Unbiased. I see Angry Fan. I see Three Letter Man. I see everybody weighing in. Big topic in battle rap. Big discussion in battle rap. These are the things that pull us away from the battles, because in the battle rap world, we love the drama sometimes more than the actual battles and the rapping. It just is what it is. So if you can take that and put it inside the promotion, that's your win. That's why I believe Beasley always does interviews around the time of controversy, right? When he does these streams or these interviews, like with Angry Fan, he says, that's one of the reasons that we don't get along is I could see through. Allegedly, right? But when he does these interviews and he says things like, I don't do interviews. No, you do. It used to be very, very accessible back in Angry Fan Radio days. He used to do a lot of interviews. I got downloaded interviews of him just taking random shots at me, like, oh, the guy that wears the wife beater in his blogs or whatever. I got all the old school shit, the middle shit, the new shit, down. I got everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to tell that shit to somebody else, right? But it's not true because I see a pattern. I see like when he got into with Holla last time. Remember, Holla is one of the biggest voices and highest viewed people, especially with controversy in the battle rap culture. And Beasley is smart enough to use that. He did it a couple cards back also when the mayor was paying for the card, right? And then they dropped the card like 2 weeks before the card, and people were questioning, was this date and is it stepping on Holla to a degree or whatever? Beasley did his interviews, right? This is the biggest promotion for Gnome right now. Think about it. At first, the biggest promotion for Gnome was this card isn't Gnome worthy, right? Given the reputation of Gnome and the title being Night of Main Events, right? It's not Gnome worthy. You should have just used a different name for it. That was the biggest topic, not positive. Then the second and now the biggest shit around Gnome promotion is this. I'm promoting the card right now by speaking. Beasley knows this. Smack knows this. Chico knows this. I know this. I'm promoting Gnome right now. Right now, they're saying thank you. Real talk. Real talk. Why? Because they have thick enough skin. They've been doing this so long. They know the culture don't stand on shit. The bloggers and the media ain't standing on shit. The battlers ain't standing on shit. The fans ain't gonna stand on shit. So this is just promotion. This is just promotion. So what's going on? All right, I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna try to check a couple battlers and keep people in line. I'm gonna put out my story, my narrative, my perspective. And in the meantime, I'm also gonna say, get your gnome tickets and this is the date, whatever, 5 times during that interview. It's promotion. It's promotion. He knows that. And Hitman knows that too. But Hitman will alley oop. He has alley oop URL, like 3 card promotions where he was that was the biggest topic of the rollout. Not the main event of the card, but the controversy. So you got to be aware, you got to be a little bit smart, and you got to be accepting of what's really happening. Okay. Now let me move forward to blocked battles. I hate that the word, there's an attempt to evolve the word. I have a personal hate for that, right? So let me give you my definition of a block battle. A block battle is never, to me, enforcing a contract. If you enforce a contract, you are just enforcing your business. And unfortunately, in battle rap, we all sign contracts. And some of the biggest gatekeepers and most respected, as a ball, some of the most respected people in the culture at times allegedly endorse bad business. Okay? So once again, nobody in the culture stands on nothing. It's one of the reasons why somebody like me got to say, I'm cool. It's a losing battle for me to actually carry some principles. Y'all don't carry shit. I'm gonna stand over here with a few people that actually do carry shit. Right? I'm cool. Y'all got it. It's one of the many reasons, right? But people know this. People know this. And a blocked battle, to me or to anybody with some intelligence, should never be about the enforcement of a contract. It should never be. Sounds good to say, like, we don't block battles, we just enforce contracts. That's a great answer. And I'm not saying, that of the situation at hand, that it's a block situation or not. I don't have that contract in my hand. I didn't see it. I didn't read it. I don't own it. I wasn't in the middle of the business. I'm not even talking specifically about Av and Twerk. So I'll still say allegedly, so nobody thinks that I'm trying to put something on them that they would deem they don't deserve to have on them. Okay. But I will say, nobody is supposed to call a battle that is contracted legally and correctly, right? Nobody should ever call a situation like that a block battle. Me, I never have and I never will. So if you ever heard me talk about a blocked battle for the last 13 years, I was talking about something that was happening to impede a battle from happening, and it was unjust. It was against valid business. It was incorrect. It was dirty. It was sneaky. It was stealing. It was corruption. That's my definition of a blocked battle. And it should be all of our definitions of a blocked battle. Because there's some people out there that speak just as well as me. But those people, I'm different than them, very different than them. I hope you guys could see the differences. Okay. So if we're going to talk about um, blocked battles by its correct definition, is another reason why I'm like, I'm over here. I'm cool. Y'all got it. Y'all really will let certain people tell you that I never robbed a store, but you got camera footage on World Star where you've seen them rob a store 50 times. What does that make you? I don't care if you're the interviewer. I don't care if you're the blogger recapping it. I don't care if you're the fan dropping a comment and you holding up somebody's jockstrap and use a dick sucker for whichever side, so biased that you come off like, no disrespect, a mall for Drake, no disrespect, mall, right? Because there's a lot of malls that might be in these comments for a video like this. There might be a couple malls that pop up, no disrespect. I'm just trying to create a comparison. Shout out to mall, so people know what I'm talking about. That pop up on my Twitter today. I just block them. or take them off the channel because I'm just like, you don't even want to interpret truth or facts. You're not my type of person. Get from around me. I don't ever want to cross paths with somebody like you. But there's a lot of people in this culture that swear they are real niggas, real women. How? Once again, what's the core ingredient to being a real man, a real woman, or being a real nigga? It's honesty. If I look in the mirror and I lie to myself, imagine what I'm gonna tell y'all. And if I'm gonna tell y'all a bunch of fucking lies, my credibility and my integrity is gone. Is gone. There's battle rappers that will talk to y'all daily and they will say lies, and y'all will still back up the lie. There's bloggers that'll co-sign fuck shit simply because it's like, I want the interview, or I feel like this person is coming off good right now. And that's not a shot. That's not a shot, homie. I'm just saying that a lot of people are saying that. I'll just say the name. Caps, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that. And Caps, I fuck with you. I'll do your platform too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll be controversial. Who knows? Good views. I'll do your platform. I'll fuck with Caps. Shout out to Caps. But a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are just like, you looked a little bit too fanish in that. Like, no pushback. And here's the thing. Once again, off of anybody that's involved in this situation, let me go back to pure hypotheticals. The culture will watch the person on World Star, the video, like he robbed that bank, he robbed that bank, he robbed that bank, he robbed that bank, he stole from that person, he stole from that person, he shot that person, he stabbed that person, this year, that year, that year, this. And then we will let you fast forward 2 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, end up in similar situations with or without footage and clear you. And this is why, this is the thing that I do understand and I do have a not respect for, but it's just like more so like, okay, where I get it there. That's where you are genius. You are genius because you know these motherfuckers stand on nothing. You know that. You are very, very smart for knowing that there is zero integrity in this space. There's no truth tellers like that. There's none. And they will hold up your jockstrap if they want to get booked, or if they want a new pair of sneakers, if they want a new chain from their father, if they want their rent paid, if they want to look some more, whatever. If you talk well, they will hold up that jockstrap for you, and you know that. And for that, you are a genius. So who's stronger in the equation? You got to give some of these people credit. It's just like that person will then be stronger because y'all are getting put under the for years. For years. I watch it. I see it in the interviews. I see it in the reactions. I see it in the tweets. I see it in the recaps. I see it in the blogs. What kind of deodorant is the man wearing? Rare breed. There are going to be a couple people that just say, what? I'd rather be over here. I'm cool. I'm not cut like y'all. I'm not. Y'all are cut to all the niggas' faces. When niggas is throw out all the evidence. None of the evidence matters in battle rap. It doesn't matter. So, that's why Holla's in the thumbnail. I just want to use this whole thing going on to create a topic and unfortunately a discussion about what a blocked battle is. Like, we got to have that discussion in battle rap. What is a blocked battle? You niggas is so fucking soft. Like, you niggas don't stand on nothing. But I'm cool. Y'all got it. I'm gonna leave the topic alone. You will continue to hear me talk about battle rap because I love battle rap for life. Battle rap is hip hop. I am battle rap. I am hip hop to the grave. I'm passionate about battle rap. I'm passionate about hip hop. I love both. It's for life for me. For life. So good and bad, promotion wise, shedding light, giving game, giving advice, helping people, still booking some little fun matchups here and there, building with people, putting money in a couple pockets still. I'm with all of that. I will be doing all of that. I already am doing all of that post my little mini retirement. Who am I? But you're gonna get this shit from me too, because this is my arena, battle rap. It's my core arena where all y'all met me from. And I think my opinion has a little bit of experience behind it, or my opinions have a little bit of experience. So I could give you guys perspectives that maybe at times we're missing, scared to acknowledge, or maybe even just haven't thought about. Like I can give those perspectives, and I will continue to do so because I'm a battle rap commentator now. Oh boy. Oh boy, 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 boy. I seen some other shit that came out that made me scratch my head the other day. Where it's selling. I wonder if that's makeup, given the history. There's probably only like 4 people that know what I just was talking about right there. All right. R. Kelly, what a transition. I got a 3 the other day for his transitions, right? Sometimes I do them sarcastically to laugh. R. Kelly. What a transition. All right, let's go. Exclusive. R. Kelly overdoses, rushed to hospital as plot to kill him resumes, lawyer says. So we covered the whole plot to kill him. My man DW, who is a lawyer and frequently on his podcast, shout out to you, DW. He DM'd me the other day and he says you were spot on about the R. Kelly stuff as far as him seeking out, him and his legal team seeking out being moved to home detention because he felt his life was in danger. So I gave like more of a logical reaction to that. And he said, legally, I was spot on. So once again, DW, I appreciate you always hitting me up and let me know that when you catch us talk about legal stuff or paperwork, let me know where I'm right, where I'm wrong, or the things that I can continue to learn. Shout out to DW, man. I might have to put DW in the checks and balances chat, man. That's some checks and balances we all need to keep around. I don't know. DW, I might holler at you about that. But shout out to all the lawyers that tune into the podcast. So now let's put on those logical glasses now and say, Kelly overdoses, rushed to hospital as a plot to kill him, resumes, lawyer says. All right. R. Kelly's attorney says the singer overdosed in solitary confinement after being given extra medication by prison staff. Oh, I thought it was going to be a self-inflicted thing that they was about to claim. R. Kelly collapsed in his North Carolina prison cell after being given what his lawyer says was a dangerous overdose of medication while in solitary confinement. R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years in prison. The incident allegedly took place just days after, conveniently, Kelly's legal team accused prison officials of plotting to harm him. According to the court filings viewed by All Hip Hop, the 58-year-old singer was placed in isolation on Tuesday, June 10th, and given additional medication by staff on Thursday, June 12th. The next morning, he reportedly fainted, experienced dizziness and vision loss, and was rushed to Duke University Hospital. Doctors determined he had received a life-threatening dose of medication and kept him under observation for 2 days. His attorney now alleges the overdose was not accidental. That means that within 2 days of the filing of his motion, Bureau of prison officials administered an amount of medication that significantly exceeded a safe dose and caused Mr. Kelly to overdose, putting his life in jeopardy. R. Kelly's lawyer said they gave him an amount of medicine that could have killed him. The emergency motion filed in Illinois on Monday, June 16th, that was yesterday, is the third request for a temporary release to home confinement. Kelly's legal team argues that his life is in danger behind bars, citing not only the overdose, but also the recent declaration from another inmate, which was the guy we covered as well, who claimed prison staff and white supremacist groups were conspiring to kill the singer to cover up misconduct during his prosecution. All right, I'm gonna start by saying R. Kelly would definitely remain a target in jail because the allegations and what you were convicted of, anything involving children, you're gonna have a tough time behind the walls about that. Okay. When I first saw the headline, even just now when I started to read before I got through the rest of the article with y'all, my mind was processing thoughts of like, yeah, right, nigga. Whatever, nigga. The timing of this, the convenience of this. This is another attempt to get out of jail or to get back home, and serve the rest of your time, and from behind the walls. You want to ankle monitor something for your charges, or your conviction. That's where my mind was going until I got to this, people. I'm keeping it 1,000. Let me put it back on the real screen. Until I got to this, my thoughts in the back of my mind as I was reading was changing. Doctors determined he had received a life-threatening dose of medication and kept him under observation for 2 days. I can't ignore that. I'm a fair person. If the doctors diagnose this, I mean, I want to assume it could happen in a way where if he's administered drugs in the jail, there's got to be some type of process to that, right? What's the medicine? What's the dosage? What's the amount that was given to him? Is it tracked? Is it written down on a daily inmate medication log? People got to still be treated like humans, even in prison. If the man requires like medication or whatever, his prescriptions, you're still supposed to administer that. But if a doctor is saying that they determined he received a life-threatening dose, hmm, hmm. And I was struggling before I got to that part also with the correlation. The correlation of first it was these white supremacists were trying to kill you, right? That could be true. But now we're trying to say that officials within the prison as well. I don't get the correlation there immediately, right? But a doctor, if that's true, that was highlighted up there on the screen. If that's true, hmm, why would they be at this point trying to get R. Kelly out of there though? He's what, 59 years old, it said? He's 59? Where is it? He's 58. He's 58 now. Once again, you're in danger if you come in there with those convictions and those charges, but why would the prison officials be trying to get him out of there? Like, wouldn't they just rather see him, for lack of better words, like rot in jail? If that's how they feel towards him? Continue to slap him around, beat him, pick him up. Interesting. The doctor said it. Allegedly. We could read false reports. Just because we read this doesn't make it 100% factual. I ain't gonna lie, people. That shit made me scratch. It's making me scratch my head a little bit. Because I'm too impartial and fair and neutral on this bitch. Like, that shit is bugged out. That shit is bugged out. I'm a little stuck with direction I want to go in that. If he was truly, truly given a life-threatening dose, was it an accident? Was it purposeful? Is this another play? I don't know. We just gotta watch this. We just gotta watch this. Gotta watch it. Yeah, that shit threw me for a curveball. I'm gonna leave it alone. That shit threw me for a little bit of a curveball that I didn't expect. All right, I mentioned getting gifts and purses and all that previously, and I said I got another video to bring up at the end, unrelated. This is what I meant when I said that shit. This is where we at, huh? Was you here when we started the stream? As soon as the stream came on, I said, "What do you buy a rich man?" I was leading into the Diddy stuff because of the thumbnail of a freak off being allegedly offered to Diddy for Christmas. But my tie-in was also to this when I started the stream like that. What do you buy a rich man that has enough money to buy whatever he wants, already has everything that he wants and he needs? A woman buy me a Birkin bag, I'm punching her in the face and I'm taking the charge. His ARP never hit a woman in his life, but the Birkin bag is going to make him do it for the first time. Yo, this is why I know that this is where we at because it's not even just Gunna. If you listen to the background reaction, everybody in there when he pulls it out, everybody in there, oh yeah, you got the big bag, Birkin. Oh shit. This is where we are. This is where we are. Birkins for your birthday. The birthday Birkin. Got your birthday Birkin. What's next? The heels? Fuck. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. All right, let me take a look at the chat. We're done. We're done this morning. That's it. I'm cool. Shout out to our mod and our member Jay in the building. Make sure y'all listen to that woman, man. She says subscribe and also check out the podcast on Spotify, people. Check it out. Kay says a bag. What we doing here? Hip hop, right? Not just hip hop. How about just the world of men? And Misha, what up? Misha's laughing. Chad's laughing. Oh my goodness. Kay says rappers used to rap about snatching purses. Now they're wearing the purses. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Shout out to our member Eric. Wow. Shout out to our member Archetype with the modified Cat Williams D4 picture. Still hilarious, G. For those who don't know how much a Jane Birkin bag is, go ahead and look it up. Yeah, it's very, very expensive. The things cost cars, right? Very expensive. But I'm not going to get into the topic right now of why I still felt funny watching that video. I'll leave that alone. I'll save it. Kelson's in the bill says, I'm calling them folks myself before I commit that. Yo, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let me do it real quick before we get out of here. The Jane Birkin bag. Let's do it. How much does a Jane? It doesn't change the fact that men are getting purses for their birthdays, but Jane Birkin bag cost. Let's still take a look. Oh, I didn't know they have versions that go all the way up to almost 200 grand. I mean, I know that they can get over like 80 grand. I didn't know that. It says 14,500 all the way up to 185. 14, I would have thought was too low for any Birkin, no matter how small or big it is, or what year or what season it came out. I would have never thought 14 for anyone, but I definitely wouldn't have gone all the way up to 185. I was thinking in my mind like 30, ranging from like 30 to maybe like 80, 100. But yeah, people's people getting their Birkins on. You know what? Fuck it. I'll share it. I'll share the screen. Yeah, so here's the definition once again. 14.5 to 185. And oh, look at this pretty one. 8,500. That must be used. 30 grand, 69.5, 295. Hermes Birkin, Crocodile Bell. It's Croc too. It's Croc. Hermes Birkin, 25 or 38. The top 6 most expensive. How is this turning into a topic? What the fuck? I did not intend for this to be a topic. What does it says? It's top 6. Let's see what we see. This one, Birkin 20, sold for $889, almost $1 million. Oh no, that's the currency. Whatever currency HKD is. So in US, I assume it's the 115. Okay. This one's 78 in US currency. Okay. The 450 in US currency. Wait. So the diamond Birkin 30 for over 450 USD. There's $500,000 Birkins. $500,000. I didn't know that. I don't want to know that. It's really got diamonds in it, I think. All right. Feature more than 200 diamonds for a total of 8.2 carats. Okay, that's why. So it's not just a bag in that case where it's $500,000. It's fucking real diamonds in the shit. 8.2 carats worth. Okay. So that don't count to me. All right. 300 most sought after side. These are things that you could just take to the market and like auction off maybe, because if it's limited, some of these numbers is like resale price, right? Sheesh. Look at this. 65 to 200. Sheesh. What the fuck? Yeah, Gunna got him one, man. Which one did he? Is this the diamond one right here? Jewelry Birkin. 2 million. The fuck? You see this shit priced around 2 million. Y'all got it. No, hold on. Let me Google one more thing. Let me try one more thing. Hold on. Let me try one more thing. Do Birkin bags appreciate in value? Just curious. Yes, Hermes Birkin bags can often do appreciate in value, particularly on resale market. They are considered a luxury investment. If they're investing, I'm gonna stop hating. I'm only hating at you men getting them for your birthdays, but as far as their value and how much people are paying for them, I'm not hating on it no more. I'm seeing enough. They really are investments out here, and the resale and on the market, people are paying that high price for them like a car. I respect it. I respect it. I just don't want one. I respect it, but I don't want one. Don't buy me one. All right. What's today? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We'll check out what happens in the Diddy trial today. Follow up on some other news that I had to leave off today's stream because I didn't want it to get too long. We're almost at $130, 120. All right. Yeah, everybody enjoy their day, and we'll be back ASAP. It's your boy.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house up. And shout out to the members.